is 11 feet or 10 feet, or it does not have a shoulder. One would definitely expect that if those conditions change, the expected number of crashes will change. So in order to account for those differences, they have suggested crash modification factors. And another thing, if you see the third multiplier in the previous equation, it was the calibration factor. Calibration factor is, the best way to understand calibration factor is looking at this photo. Actually, there should have been two photos. I don't know why it's not showing up, but it will show up here. If you see a person who is driving in the condition of snow, the driver behavior of someone who is driving in that condition will be very, very different from the driver who is driving in the other condition where it's raining or it's filled with water. In such situations, we to account for such situations, we use calibration factor. So the motivation behind this study was Highway Safety Manual recommends calibrating the base SPF using this method, which says you just sum the expected number of observed number of crashes, take the ratio of observed number of crashes over the expected number of crashes. The reason they did it on purpose, they kept it easy so that the DOTs, they won't need much technical expertise to do anything else. However, there are certain limitations, and one limitation which I have not yet seen in, anywhere, which I could think of is, if you see this table, just imagine that you have 5 sites, and actually expected crash frequency is difficult to really find out, but somehow you imagine, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you use the base SPF and you get the predicted crashes to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you use the calibration method suggested by Highway Safety Manual here, it will give you a calibration factor of 1, which says that what you are predicting is actually correct. However, it's clearly visible it's not. So this is one problem with the Highway Safety Manual, the calibration method in Highway Safety Manual. Another things are several states like Utah, North Carolina, Virginia, Oregon, they have tried calibrating their base SPF, and they have found that they don't perform well, and they have developed their own state-specific SPF. So what is the alternative? We asked this question, what is the alternative to this problem? Obviously, one alternative is, you already heard, that develop your own state-specific SPFs. But the issue with that is you need technical expertise and you need data, and that is something not everybody has. So then we asked this some questions, and this leads us to our research objective. What we did in this project is, we are first developing a new method for calibrating the base SPF given in Highway Safety Manual, and secondly, we are comparing it with the state-specific SPF. So in short, we also developed the state-specific SPFs. So the methodology. Methodology we used was, as told by Dr. Lee previously, it was a negative binomial regression, which is also suggested by Highway Safety Manual, as most of the crashes are over dispersed, so we cannot use a regular Poisson regression. So negative binomial regression is just it's just a modification of Poisson. It's a mixture distribution in which we add a gamma heterogeneity term with mean 1 to the Poisson distribution. So if you see the first equation, f of yi lambda I, what it says is, it's just, that is just the PDF of Poisson distribution. It says that for a particular site I, it follows the expected number of crashes follows a Poisson distribution with mean lambda I, and with the second equation says that it has a gamma heterogeneity with epsilon is the heterogeneity which follows a gamma distribution with mean 1. And in literature there are around 25 different forms of negative binomial regression. However, most of them are not very interpretable, so they are not so useful. But still, we tried 2 different formulations of negative binomial regression, NB2 and NB1. The main difference between these 2 methods is NB2, it's just the variance component. For NB2, the variance is a quadratic function of mean, whereas in NB1, variance is a linear function of mean. And we use SPSS and NLogit because these softwares, they don't do both the things. So sometimes people, they don't know what kind of assumptions you have on your variance structure. So here comes our proposal. What we proposed about calibrating or our proposed calibration method. If you see the first equation, this is just the basic equation given in the highway safety manual. The lambda, the exponential part is just the mean, which we had on the other slide, and we multiply it by the calibration factor. However, what we thought was, instead of taking just the ratio, why not to estimate the calibration factor? So we decided to take calibration factor inside the exponential and estimate the parameter. So the question here is, we can do this if the calibration factor is independent of the xi's, betas, that those are the explanatory variables. And if you remember that the definition of calibration factor, it is essentially taking unobserved heterogeneity. Like I showed you those two photos of people driving in snow and water. So those are the things which are not observed. So that's why it is justified to take it inside the equation, and then we just rearrange the terms and we estimate a negative binomial regression with the base SPF held at the fixed coefficient 1, and we estimate for the calibration factor. The highlights of this study were we had obtained the data from CAD. It is the same system from which we use the data for bridge rails. And the main thing we did here was creating homogeneous sites. This is very important for this study because if we want to attribute anything to crashes, you need to have it constant. That attribute should be constant for the whole stretch of the road. So the data which we had, they were in 0.01 mile segments. And what we did was, we created 0.5 miles segments of road. We created segments of the road such that we chose 6 factors, and those 6 factors like lane width, ADT, speed limit, and 3 more factors, they did not change during a particular stretch of the road. So based on that, we created homogeneous sites. The next thing was we did was stratified sampling. Most of the studies usually use random sampling, but what we did was we started with random sampling, but we saw that after sampling the first set, there were many small stretches of the road which were not included in our sample. So what we did was we did a staged. So this is just an example. Say like we had one random selection and we found certain roads like Alabama 9, 11 and many more, but we don't have Alabama 20. In that case, what we did was we went back to the main data and selected a small sample from just this one road. And we first shortlisted all the roads which were not in the previous sample, and then we selected a small sample from the ones which were remaining. So these are some of the results. These are pretty much the same what we saw in the previous project. This is just for the different case. You would see that the model in the center, the third one, is the best model with the lowest log likelihood value, that is the goodness of fit statistic we use, and AIC. They both are almost the same. Another important thing to see here is all the dispersion parameters are close to 1, which says that this model fits our data very well. Now, if there are some statisticians in the room, they would be jumping. Oh, you put more variables in your data, and obviously you will get a better fit. But that is not the case. In order to make sure we don't do overfitting, we even validated our models using a validation data set which was not used for training. The data sets were different for training the model and validating the model. And here you see we have compared model 1 to 4 are the state specific SPFs which we developed, and model C1 and C2 are the 2 calibration methods the calibration method 1 is the one which is proposed by us, and the second is the one which is proposed by or recommended by the highway safety manual. We can see here that if you are comparing across the board, model 3 does best, and it is obvious because we have developed these models based on Alabama data, so it has to do well. So I think if anybody does it correctly, it has to be like this. But the interesting thing to see here is the comparison of model C1 and C2. If you see our model does not do well with the statistics which are used in highway safety manual. Again, the problem is those statistics are used which are related to the mean. All the first three statistics, mean absolute deviance, mean prediction square error, mean prediction bias. So these are all related to the mean. But if you see the last two statistics in which our model is doing better, those are probabilistic statistics which are based on the distribution. And that is log likelihood and AIC. So some of the conclusions is that obviously the SPFs which are estimated by us will be better, but if the BOTs they don't have or expertise or data to do it, probably, and if they are trying to calibrate the model, maybe they can try to use both the calibration methods suggested by us and recommended by highway safety manual to see which one does better for the data. And another thing was we found some extra variables like lane width and speed limit, which usually most of the studies related to safety performance functions, they don't include it in their model. So we had just a couple of things. Any questions?
So we do actually have a minute or two if there are any questions regarding Nedha's presentation or Jean's. She's still here. Yes. Oh, okay. Okay. If there's none, let's give our last two speakers a round. Okay. And that concludes our session today on traffic safety. We've heard a lot of great presentations. And I do believe that lunch will be served in about 2 minutes downstairs. So enjoy your lunch.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, good.
Okay, excellent. Hey, missed all the sessions.
There's only $15 million to $30 million today. Turn it on. It says some stuff like so I think that's third. Yeah, I just have everybody else.
That's how I come to my job is I more together. It's like
So we could do something actually might have set us specific ideas.
Yes.
I don't remember if it was a while back. I'll go back and look through my emails and see if I can find out if this works. I think I did have some suggestions. If I can find it, I'll report it.
now we are free to engage on the stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I talked to James on some of the reading through literature, craft.